For this episode, I have 10 small improvement suggestions, similar to adding colors to the eggs or adding types to the Pokemon's description. These are small things that are relatively easy to add that just improve the quality of life and make the user's experience easier, simpler, more straightforward. Should have been like this since the beginning. Such as, number 1. The eggs that hatch the fastest are 2-kilometer eggs, which the majority of people exclusively use their unlimited incubator for. Yet every time we go to hatch the next 2K egg, we have to scroll through all of our stacked up incubators to get to our unlimited incubator. Some people don't even buy the incubators, or maybe they save those for 10K eggs only. The one that we want to use the most, and that we always pick if it's available, is the unlimited one. And it takes the longest to get to. Solution: put the unlimited incubator at the front of the lineup when selecting your next one. Number 2. After you have your eggs incubated, this is a very common scenario. It's happened to me many times. I'll see a Pokemon I really want to catch on the radar, I'll travel to it, and by the time I get there, my eggs have gone far enough distance that right when I'm about to catch it, all of my eggs pop up. I commonly incubate all 9 to hatch at the same time, and so suddenly I arrive at my destination, I traveled, and all of my eggs start popping up. And I want to be able to look at my eggs, I want to enjoy the new hatches, but at the same time I'm frantically trying to skip through all of them because I miss out on whatever I traveled over there to get. And it's happened several times. I've missed the catch that I wanted because my eggs have popped up and there's no way to cancel out of it. Or also, since I have all my eggs hatch at the same time, I often want to start a lucky egg right before they all hatch. And it's happened before. I try to get my eggs right to 0.99 so I can start my lucky egg and then hatch them all. And it has happened where I accidentally go too far, they all hatch, and I'm trying to click my lucky egg in between hatches. One time I even shut my phone down, hoping that it would cancel my hatches, because I want to be able to get my lucky egg on. I think the best solution is just to have a little egg shake in the corner that says, an egg or more is ready to hatch. Click it when you're ready. That way you can finish what you're doing, you can start your lucky egg, and then you can enjoy opening your hatches. Alternatively, there could be like a minimize button. It pops up and you can push just a minute type of thing. Or if nothing else, give a little warning. Your egg is 0.3 away from hatching, 0.1. Have some sort of warning system. Similar to the buddy tracking. You see that keep track of the distance. Usually you're walking it so long that seeing that distance to get one candy at a time doesn't matter. But so many people are constantly going in and checking their egg distances to see how close they are to hatching, and then trying to start their lucky egg right before. Best solution, just have a little pop-up, have it vibrate when your eggs are ready to hatch, and add a shortcut to open them. Number 3, when you open your eggs or catch a new Pokemon, those of us that are more serious about the game want to check IVs, and we want to see the stats. Yet we have to wade through this muddy appraisal system when the majority of the time all I want to see is that first one. I see that it's below and then I just skip through the rest of them. Also, we've figured out what those phrases mean, and so we have to use that, and then we just go on a third-party site to check IVs. The Pokemon description pages already show us one of the stats. It shows us the health. It shows us the size and the weight, but it doesn't show us the attack and defense. I know Niantic likes to be obscure and they like to not just give us everything. Here's my solution. Put the attack, defense, and health on the Pokemon's description page. Those are the stats that actually matter. They're the ones that we want to see. They're the ones that we spend extra time skipping through the appraisal or going online to check. And then have the appraisal system say, wow, your Pokemon is really heavy, or your Pokemon is really small. That way we get the information that we're looking for, and Niantic gets to give an obscure description of the Pokemon. Everyone wins. After I've sorted through my Pokemon and picked my favorite ones, I might give it a star if it has good IVs. Or I'll give it a star if it has the best offensive abilities. Or I'll give it a star if it has the best defense. Or I'll give it a star if it's the first one I caught. Or if it has perfect IVs. Or if I caught it on my birthday. Or if it's a certain gender. Or I caught it at a certain place. All we have right now is give it a star. And so then when I get to battling and I'm searching for my best offensive moveset, I might sort by star, and that doesn't help me. Number 4, we need more sorting options. Whether it be more symbols so we can add a star or a heart or a smiley or a triangle or square or anything just to be able to sort things better. Or what Pokemon Duel has, I really like their system. You can sort by type and how many moves it takes, and it just minimizes everything else. You don't have to scroll through them. That wouldn't exactly work with PokemonGO, but we could use a similar system. We can expand our Pokemon storage up to 1,000, and so when we're looking for one, we're having to scroll through a lot. I have around 700 right now, including over 50 Christmas Pikachus that I saved, and every time I'm looking for one, they're near the top, so I just have to scroll past them. I want a way to minimize those. Only see certain types, or certain CP ranges, or Pokemon that I have previously put into certain categories, similar to the star system. As it stands, there are very few ways to sort, which brings us to number 5, sorting by HP. That hasn't worked since the start of the game. It's one of the only 6 ways to sort 700 Pokemon, and it doesn't even work. Make it work, or get rid of it. Number 6. I'm at a gym, I've scrolled through hundreds of Pokemon to find the right type I want, at the right CP level I want, for training in this example. I click it, and then I have to click the next one and scroll through 100 again to find that same CP level because I want to be 1,000 below. And sometimes the gym only has one Pokemon in it. I know I can beat it with one, but I still have to scroll down hundreds just to select one that CP is low enough so I can get the max prestige, even if I know I'm not going to use it. Just like the mass transfer system, I want to be able to scroll down, find the CP cap that I want, and then pick the 6 right next to each other without having to go back and forth and finding them all over again. Niantic, please, let us select our whole team at once. Number 7. We get into battle. I use my first Pokemon as much as I can, I get it really low, and I switch to my next one. I use him as much as I can, I get him really low. This is extra important during training because it's a lot harder, and I'm using low-level Pokemon. So they're taking a lot of damage. Then I switch to my next one. I fight as much as I can. Then I switch to my next one. I fight as much as I can. I accidentally miss a dodge. Or I stay half a second too long. He dies. And it brings back my first one. He dies. Brings back my second one. He dies. Brings back my third one. He dies. And within a second, before I can switch to a different one, my whole lineup has died. I already said I was done with my first, second, and third one. I already benched them. They did their job. I put them away. And because of a missed dodge, suddenly my whole lineup is out. And it won't even let me switch to a different one because it keeps loading in the next one. Solution. When a Pokemon faints during battle, it goes to the next one in your lineup, not the previous one. I know we're expecting the battle system to change soon anyways, but as it stands, that's been a big problem. And that's one of the reasons there's been so many revive shortages, and we can't battle as much, because when we go to train, we might accidentally miss one thing, and we lose our whole lineup, because it brings back in our weak ones. Number 8. We revive our Pokemon. We start healing them. We see our whole list of damaged Pokemon, but we don't know how much damage they have. Some of us are already limited on potions, but we don't know if a certain one is going to take 2 small potions or 1 medium potion. Niantic, in the healing screen, please show us how much health a Pokemon has and how much they're missing. Number 9. I've got my Pokemon healed back up, I'm out and about, gonna relax now, sit at a lure, and I see one active on the map. I wasn't planning on going over there, but there's already a lure going, so I head that way. Right as I get there, the lure ends. When clicking on a Pokestop that has an active lure, I want to see the duration that that lure has left. We know they're all 30 minutes, and if we start the lure, we can check the time and keep track ourselves. But when somebody else started it and you come in partway through, you can see who started the lure, but I think it should also show how much time it has left. And even more than that, I think it should show what team that person is on that started it. This one isn't as urgent as the other ones, but if I see that a Pokestop has a lure on it already, and it has a stranger that I don't know who that is, I am way more likely to go approach that person and make a new friend if I saw that they were on the same team as me. I'm sure some of you are more outgoing and you'll go talk to the person anyways. Maybe that's something that just I need to change, but after months of playing and looking back at myself, I know that I'm not going to approach a stranger, but I also know that especially since my team is the underdog team, if I did see a lure going with somebody from my same team, I would be so much more likely to go over there and maybe team up and go take a gym together. And number 10. For number 10, I actually broke it down into 3 because these are more bonus suggestions that aren't focused on changing something we already have, but these are 3 suggestions for new things that could be added. 10A, GoPlus preferences. I've been using mine for a few months now, and anymore I only use it to track distance and to spin Pokestops. I can't turn catch Pokemon on because there are too many and I will run out of Pokeballs too fast if I do that. Right now it does flash yellow if it's a Pokemon you don't have before, and it's a bit to ask, but I would like there to be a way to set certain Pokemon to also flash yellow. If it's something where, yeah, I have one, but I want to know if there's a second one because it's so rare, I want to be able to set certain Pokemon to be recognized as new. Or instead of just having new Pokemon, because that doesn't happen very often, I just want yellow flashes to be rare Pokemon. Or ones that I have preset that I either don't have or I am looking for. Or even better, when there's Pokemon that you don't have and they're unknown, you shouldn't be able to set them really. Maybe just set it up so that you can exclude Pidgeys and Rats and the ones that you for sure don't want, and just tell your GoPlus, don't notify me if it's one of these that I already have way too many of. And just be able to turn off notifications for the ones that you specify. 10B. This is more of a new suggestion that I think would help Niantic. Pokespin Bonuses. At my level, it's hard to get XP anymore. It's hard to gain levels at any reasonable speed. They already keep track of first spin of the day. They could also keep track of first Pokespin ever. Or this is the 10th time you've spun this Pokespin, or the 100th time, or 1000th time. Or maybe it's the first time you spun it this month. I know in my small town, I know where all the Pokestops are, and there's about 3 that I think I have never spun because they're across the river or they're hard to get to. And I have my bunch over here and I'm never gonna take the time to go over to that one. But if there was some sort of bonus for spinning a new Pokestop, I would have to go over there. This would also help with Niantic's desire to get people out more and to explore new places. If I had some incentive where I will get more if I go to a new place and spin that Pokestop I've never spun before, if I get some bonus, whether it's items or XP or whatever, people would be more likely to go exploring and to go to new places. I've just thought off and on, I wonder how many times I have spun this particular Pokestop. This is the one by my house or on my route. This is my one I spin every day on days I'm too busy. I go out and get my spin of the day at this particular one. I think it would just be cool to, when I open it, to see that I've spun this stop this many times this week or this month or ever. And 10C, my last suggestion, also something that's not yet in the game, but I think is a good idea. When shinies are added, I think that shinies should be perfect IV Pokemon. When you get a perfect IV, that's the one that you want to power up. That's the one that you want to spend your candies on and you want to use in the gyms. When shinies come out and we get a shinies, that's the one we're going to want to power up. We're going to want to put our candies into that one. We're going to want to put it in gyms and show it off and use it. If we get a shiny and it has bad IVs and it feels so bad to power it up, and perfect IV Pokemon are already really rare, so I think they should just combine those. So instead of just being a normal Pokemon that looks different, everyone knows that is the best one possible inside and out. So those are all the suggestions I have today for improving Pokemon Go. If you have any more suggestions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see some of these changes happen, share this video, and if enough people see it, maybe it will find its way to someone at Niantic and they can make it happen. A lot of these are very simple. They should have been changed months ago. It just needs to find its way to the right person. Thanks for watching, check out my other videos, and catch 'em all!